going to be looking at our tarot for this week, just to see what influences can touch upon us spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and also practically here this week. And I love the way that this Sunday is starting off. And of course, when I go through the influences of the week, it may not be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like day by day. Some of you might just come to experience it a little sooner, a little later, but throughout the week, you should be encountering some of these influences, okay? But I'm going to start off with what I'm seeing here, and I love it because we're opening up to that portion of ourselves, our spiritual selves, where we're seeing that new chapters are feeling like they're opening up, getting the High Priestess here. So that is you under a beautiful spiritual influence at this time. So you want to listen to that inner voice, right? That's your higher self. It's your spiritual guides, your angels, however you wish to see it. But the influence is inspirational. So as you start off this day today, you're probably feeling it right here in your heart chakra. Where that's going to be taking you is through your listening is to a new cycle that may be opening up for you. And in this new cycle, I see it more like stepping it up on a ladder, right? So as we're closing down on something, this new cycle here is very creative. So for those of you with your artistic abilities, this might be a time for you to really draw upon it. Take some time off and see what you can channel. All right, you can channel your art, your music, your writing, whatever it is. Some of you with handcrafts, but the inspiration is strong. It's running through you. I'm also seeing that there is this mothering aspect. Even if you are a man, okay, it's that feminine principle within all of us, that Venetian energy, where we want to nurture, we want to give. Maybe you're going to be spending extra time to make a good meal or whatnot, but as you're doing it, you're applying the principle of love. And anything that we touch with that frequency of love, it turns out beautifully. And so here, the next phase coming in here is you looking for getting away or planning a trip. We're not talking a long distance type of vacation. It might just be out of town. It might be a weekend getaway or whatnot. It could also be just planning for Labor Day. But I'm seeing here that it's not just getting out of town, which is great to break up a few routines, but this journey also symbolizes the inner journey that we have, where our mind is up and off of the day-to-day routine. And it's when we linger in this dimension is when we're feeling at ease and harmony, and it's something that we really need to pay attention to in our daily lives in the overall. Why? Because when we get mentally all hung up on routines and the clock and whatnot, deadlines, our focus, our consciousness is only in one area, right? And then we forget about all these other layers of dimensions that we have. So it's important, the message here, that we learn how to journey within ourselves. Take a little time every day. You know, it doesn't have to be a deep meditation or anything, but that you allow yourself to quiet down a little bit, because when we journey within, we open up our vision. We open up our future. We're able to more so visualize where it is that we're heading. Now, it's a romantic week here as we start off in September, and I love to see that because it's going to be about relationships, whether this is with your significant other. If you're single, well, always recall that the first relationship we all have is with ourselves. How does it feel? Are you happy with yourself? Are you having a great relationship? Are you listening to all the good words that you could feed yourself? Or are you talking yourself down? Pay attention to that, because it's all about you being your own very best friend forever, first and foremost. Because when you have those beautiful inner dialogues, this is when you start lifting and rising, and your consciousness coming out, becoming more attractive to the world at large. So that's also a part maybe of the journey that we're seeing here. Some of you, you'll be out and about traveling physically. But for most of us, it's going to be that internal journey. Then I'm seeing money matters coming up here, and there is, yes, there is a drive. There is a focus to obtain a certain something. And I see you getting it here. If you focus correctly, it's all about feeling good. It's about telling yourself that the universe is abundant. And the universe doesn't really say that you can get it, but you can't, but you can get it, and you can't. No, the universe doesn't really matter where that flow goes. It's abundant. It's really up to each and every one of us to open up our hearts and say that we're ready to receive so that we can actually pay it forward, because that's how the flow of the universe works. The more we receive, the more we want to give back out to everybody else around us. If you can catch that flow embedded into your life on a daily basis, you will come to see just how much more will be coming your way. Definitely something for you to focus on here this week, and allow that too to become a part of the meditation. Now, there is a male that is going to show up here this week, which I feel not only can you have some good communication with, but he is mentally very strong. He is very clear. He's a great communicator, and on some level, I feel that this man can come in and either deliver good news to you, or that you will have some talks that can actually spur you off onto something that you're working on. Because I can see how you have things straightened out right now. It's like everything is laid out before you. Okay, you got all the tools here, spiritually and mentally. So you got the concepts going on in your mind of what it is you're wanting to perform and what it is you're wanting to achieve. Now, this man somehow will be able to come in and help you unlock so you can move ahead and start manifesting it. Some news, not for all of us, of course it can't be because it's a general reading, but I do see a wedding here this month, and you hearing about it, receiving an invitation, or participating in it, because I see you out and about wanting to get a beautiful, nice gift. For those of you who are going to be wed yourself, congratulations. It is a time where, just the stars are lining up here, and it just seems to come together so very, very beautifully. Then also, now, what is it that you are trying to, I can't say avoid, but you know what? For some of you, you are avoiding, all right? And I think the more you're trying to avoid a certain issue, the more it's going to kind of catch up with you. It's like, can you run away from your shadow? No, the faster you run, your shadow's going to follow. So there is a specific situation here that really needs to be dealt with. And I think it's all about you coming to a stopping point where you confront it. And it doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be difficult. It's just taking the time to stop up a little bit and then encounter whatever this issue is. When you do, let me tell you though, you will release yourself from the burdens that you mentally are carrying, because whenever we're avoiding, this thing keeps growing upon us, right? And I can see you can eliminate that. So it's all about finding the solution first. What would you like to replace instead of this situation that's holding you where you're at? Now, if you can take a little time throughout this week, it's preparing you, because it's more so, I feel, coming up in the next week or two, this situation. So you might still be running a little bit, but that's okay as long as you are aware. And awareness is what it's all about, that we catch ourselves in those things. And we make it much easier on ourselves when we're not having that shadow to deal with, right? And so try to visualize what is the perfect outcome. How would you like to see this situation turn around for the higher good of everybody involved? Once you do, there is this epiphany coming through, and you're strengthening your path where and how to achieve what it is that you'd like to see. And I'm also thinking, if it is another person here involved, that this person too will feel good about just letting bygones be bygones. Because we can never redo the past, but we can project the past into the future. But you know what? That's stealing up all those gigabytes of your mind in the future as well. So kind of reset, all right? It's a perfect time to start at least preparing for a reset in your life. Then, listen, you might come across something that I feel is not just exciting, which it is, but whatever this new concept is, it's an idea, it's a plan, and I feel it's quite unique as you touch upon it, because I see you looking at it and go, wow, and it is a wow factor. But the better news is that behind it, what can grow and become even larger is what can develop from it. Because I see it kind of branching off, and these branch off, the spin-off, I feel, is even more so important. It's like starting off on one path, leading to another, and then you have a whole delta of things coming in, and it really ties in to your consciousness, the way you think, all right? It's all getting your ducks in a row. It's all about looking at completion of those things that you have achieved in your life. Be proud of those things. You can line them up, put them in the past, and know that they are really sound in your foundation of your being. But from it now, it's really time to open up your crown chakra, funnel in what the universe now wants you to look at for what you can grow. Now there's a celebration, there is an event. Well, it doesn't have to be this wedding that we're seeing. It could be a separate thing coming in. And in that, I feel not only is it great company, because there's a lot of happy people here, but it's also something that I feel is jovial, that is enjoyable. It might be a concert or something like that, but I see you out and about and enjoying yourself. For those of you who are single, for the females, that is, you might just come to encounter and meet a special somebody here. This is more so towards the end of coming week, all right? This person seems to be very outgoing. He is charming as all get out. He's a great communicator, very, very dynamic in his way of engaging with you. So this is pretty much what we have here now for this week, and you can go and listen to your astrology forecast for what's coming up from this Sunday to next, and I will see you next week. Have a good one, everyone.